Have you ever had raw chicken on your hands, a cutting board full of vegetable scraps, and a faucet handle you suddenly don't want to touch? That's where a good touchless kitchen faucet starts to make real sense, especially when you're narrowing down the top touchless faucets for a busy kitchen. The right one keeps water moving when your hands are messy, gives you enough reach to rinse the sink corners, and makes cleanup feel smoother after chopping, simmering, baking, or loading the dishwasher. In this roundup, we're looking at how each faucet handles activation, spray control, pull-down reach, installation, finish, and everyday cleaning. So you can match the faucet to the way you actually use your kitchen. And if you want to compare for yourself, I've put links to the current prices I'm seeing right now for each touchless faucet in the description box below. Let's start with the most practical fit for hands-free rinsing, then move through the more polished built-in options. Starting with one of the best touchless faucets picks, the OWOFAN Touchless Kitchen Faucet leans into a busy, everyday sink routine where you want water without grabbing the handle. You put your hand near the motion sensor to start the flow, then put your hand near it again to stop it, so you keep the faucet cleaner when you're handling meat, kneading dough, or wiping sauce off a spoon. The water automatically stops after 3 minutes when no motion is detected, so you get a useful backup for moments when you turn away to grab a pan or clear the counter. In practice, it keeps the hand washing and rinsing rhythm simple. The LED light gives you a temperature cue while the water runs, and the color changes with the water temperature. That means you get a quick visual warning before you put your hands under hot water or let a child rinse a cup at the sink. It's a small detail, but in a kitchen where people move quickly between cooking, cleaning, and filling bottles, that visual feedback helps you slow down at the right moment. So, when the sink is part of the family traffic pattern, the faucet gives you one more layer of awareness. For rinsing, you're working with 2 spray modes: stream for filling water and spray for rinsing. The 23.6-inch pull-down hose gives you more reach across the sink, so you can rinse lettuce, wash the corners after peeling potatoes, or clean the sides of a large pot without fighting the faucet angle. That longer hose matters most when the sink is full because you bring the water to the mess instead of shifting heavy cookware around. The result is a faucet that feels especially useful for active prep and cleanup. The build combines food-grade SUS 304 stainless steel with lead-free solid brass, so the water path and body materials fit a kitchen setting where the faucet gets used all day. A ceramic valve, rated through over 500,000 open and closed tests, supports long-term daily operation, so the handle and flow control are built around repeat use. Installation uses a quick connect push-fit design, and the faucet runs on 4 AA batteries instead of a dedicated electrical outlet. That makes it a straightforward pick if you want motion activation, temperature light feedback, and a flexible sprayer without turning the sink area into a bigger project. Would you rather have a faucet that runs on batteries or one that plugs into power under the sink? Tell me in the comments because that setup choice matters a lot in real kitchens. Moving next in this Best Touchless Faucets reviews lineup, the KRAUS Oletto is the reach-focused pull-down option with a tall, clean profile that suits a sink where you rinse large cookware often. The faucet height is 20 and 3/8 inches, and the spout reach is 10 and 7/8 inches, so you get more working room when you slide a stockpot, baking sheet, or blender jar under the stream. The 360-degree swivel gives the spout a full range of motion, which helps when you move between washing vegetables, filling a kettle, and rinsing the basin. In day-to-day use, it feels built for a kitchen sink that sees real cooking, not just quick hand washing. The pull-down system is designed to flex, pivot, and reach around the sink with an easy retract hose and swivel adapter. That matters when you're clearing rice from a pot, rinsing coffee grounds from a French press, or chasing bits of chopped herbs toward the drain. Instead of bringing every dish directly under the spout, you move the spray head where the water needs to go. The sink feels less cramped because the faucet gives your hand more range. You get a dual-function spray head with an aerated stream for everyday cleaning and a stronger spray for heavier rinsing. The stream works well for filling a pot or rinsing a glass, while the spray gives you more force for stuck-on food and sink cleanup after meal prep. Easy clean nozzles let you wipe away mineral buildup, so routine maintenance stays simple when water spots and deposits show up over time. That means the sprayer stays easier to live with after the new faucet shine wears into normal kitchen use. The construction uses lead-free solid brass, and the spot-free finish resists water spots and fingerprints, so the faucet is built for both daily contact and cleaner-looking counters. The Comfort Grip handle moves with 90-degree forward rotation, which helps in tighter installations where a backsplash sits close behind the faucet. Pre-attached water lines, a quick connect sprayer hose, and a quick weight counterweight support a cleaner installation process. If your priority is a high arc faucet with strong reach, easy rinsing, and a finish that suits a busy sink area, this one fits that lane very well. Checking in next on this best touchless faucets review, the Kohler Simplice response is built around touchless control with a sensor under the spout. A simple wave of your hand, or even an object like a pan, turns the water on or off, so you don't need to touch the handle when you're rinsing a messy skillet or moving from raw ingredients to the sink. The sensor is designed to prevent false activations while you work in the sink area, which keeps the faucet from feeling jumpy during normal cleanup. You also get an LED indicator that shows when the touchless system is ready, so the interaction feels clearer before the water starts. Power comes through AC operation, so you don't rely on batteries for the touchless function. That fits a kitchen where the faucet gets constant use, especially if you cook often and don't want to think about battery changes in the middle of a busy week. Flexible supply lines come included, and the faucet is designed for a single hole or 3-hole installation with an escutcheon plate. That gives you a cleaner path whether your sink is a newer single hole setup or an older deck with extra holes to cover. The spray head gives you stream, sweep spray, and boost, so you can match the water pattern to the job at the sink. The aerated stream uses 45% less water than a traditional 2.2 gallon per minute faucet without sacrificing performance, so everyday tasks like rinsing hands, washing cups, and filling a small bowl feel more efficient. Sweep spray creates a wide, forceful blade of water for stuck-on food and set-in stains, which is useful after searing meat, baking casseroles, or rinsing a cutting board. Boost increases the faucet's flow rate by 30% at the touch of a button, so filling pots and pitchers feels faster when you need more flow. The pull-down feel is helped by a quiet braided hose and a swiveling ball joint, so the spray head moves more comfortably when you pull it toward a corner of the sink. The secure docking system locks the spray head back into place, which keeps the faucet looking tidy after rinsing a colander or washing out a mixing bowl. The spray face is made to resist mineral buildup and wipe clean, so the maintenance routine stays simple around hard water spots. This is the one to look at when you want a built-in AC-powered touchless faucet with a refined spray system and a clean daily rhythm. If messy hands are what pushed you to start looking, what are you dealing with most right now? Raw prep, sticky dough, or constant sink cleanup? Drop a comment below so I can see what most people are trying to solve. Moving on to one of the great touchless faucets choices, the Delta Leland Touch 2.0 gives you a choice between touch and touchless style operation, which makes it flexible for different cooking habits. Touchless activation recognizes human presence within 4 inches of the faucet surface, so you get water without searching for a visible sensor or waving in an awkward spot. You can also choose Touch 2.0 with touchless or Touch 2.0 only, so the control style fits the way you want to work at the sink. That means your routine can stay simple, whether you prefer tapping the faucet or using a more hands-free flow. The faucet includes additional sensitivity modes for different countertop and sink materials, and you can turn off touchless activation when you want a more traditional setup. You change modes by turning the handle off, holding the faucet base for 6 seconds, and cycling through the options, so the faucet gives you control without adding a complicated panel to the sink. That matters in real kitchens where stone counters, metal sinks, and everyday hand placement all change how a faucet feels. In practice, you get a faucet that adapts to your setup instead of forcing one fixed behavior. For rinsing, Delta's Shield Spray technology puts a powerful stream inside a protective sphere of water. That design cuts through stubborn messes while containing splatter, with an average of 90% less splatter than a standard spray. So, when you're blasting tomato sauce from a plate or loosening oatmeal from a bowl, you get a cleaning force without sending water all over the counter. The faucet also gives you 3 spray patterns: a water-efficient spray, a stream, and shield spray, so you can move from gentle filling to heavier cleanup without changing tools. The pull-down side feels practical because the hose length reaches 60 inches and the spout swivels 360 degrees. That gives you room to rinse both sides of the sink, fill a large pot nearby, or wash down the basin after trimming vegetables. Magnetite docking uses an integrated magnet to snap the spray wand back into place, so the head stays docked neatly when you finish. With included batteries, integrated supply lines, a deck plate for 1 or 3-hole installation, and a corrosion-resistant spot shield stainless finish, this faucet suits someone who wants flexible control, strong rinsing, and a polished everyday setup. Finally, if you're comparing the best touchless faucets comparison finalists, the Moen Arbor Motionsense Wave brings a clean, one-sensor touchless experience to a classic pull-down shape. The single Motionsense Wave sensor turns water on and off with a hand wave, so you can rinse after handling garlic, raw chicken, or sticky dough without touching the faucet body. That simple wave control is the main appeal here, because it keeps the sink routine direct and easy to remember. You wave, rinse, and move on. Moen's power. Clean spray technology gives 50% more spray power compared with most Moen pull-down and pull-out faucets without that technology. That stronger spray helps when you're rinsing thick smoothie residue from a blender jar, clearing rice from a saucepan, or washing sauce off a plate before it goes into the dishwasher. The faucet has a 1.5 gallon per minute flow rate, so the water delivery stays measured while the spray pattern gives you more cleaning punch. The benefit is a sink setup that feels efficient without needing a heavy, messy rinse every time. The pull-down system uses Moen's reflex design for smooth movement, easy reach, and secure spray head docking. The hose length is 68 inches, so you get generous reach for rinsing sink corners, filling a pot, or washing down a baking sheet after roasting vegetables. A 15.5-inch spout height and 7.88-inch spout reach keep the faucet tall enough for common kitchen tasks without turning the sink area into a towering fixture. In normal use, that balance gives you reach and control without making the faucet feel oversized. Power starts with 6 included AA batteries, so you don't need a dedicated outlet to use the touchless function. Optional AC power is available separately, which gives you another path if you prefer a plug-in setup later. The spot-resist stainless finish resists fingerprints and water spots, so the faucet stays cleaner looking after wet hands, quick rinses, and countertop wipe downs. With the Duralock Quick Connect system, deck plate, flexible supply lines, and limited lifetime warranty, this is a strong fit if you want a familiar pull-down faucet with simple wave activation and a polished stainless look. So, here's the simple way to choose when you're looking at touchless faucets performance for your own sink routine. If you want motion activation with LED temperature feedback and battery-powered setup, the OWOFAN makes sense. If your sink routine is all about tall clearance, reach, and strong pull-down rinsing, the KRAUS Oletto fits that job. If you want AC-powered touchless control with a polished spray system, the Kohler Simplice response is the refined pick. If you like the idea of touch control, touchless sensing, and splatter-contained rinsing, the Delta Leland is the flexible choice. And if you want a straightforward wave sensor with a strong pull-down sprayer, the Moen Arbor is easy to understand. If you want to check them out for yourself, I've put links in the description box to the current prices I'm seeing right now for each touchless faucet.